So you're all familiar with the holy name, the chanting from all your different cities, yeah. And you're familiar with the Hare Krishna going out in the streets of the world. Good. Well, the Lord Chaitanya, when he inaugurated the chanting of Hare Krishna 530 years ago, he specifically used the kartals and madanga at that time, and basic dancing and chanting throughout Nadia, which is a province, a county of West Bengal. So when we played the madanga, of course, when I joined in the 60s, we were all pretty tribal guys, and we were playing all kinds of things like djembe, a little madanga. And I'm pretty unconventional in my playing of madanga. But having grown up influenced by Latin beats, I grew up in Guyana, South America. I was influenced by, meringue and tango and all that Latin stuff. So, yeah, my temple president used to say, "Oh, sounds like a Latin beat." So, my daughter, she was taught by a devotee who was born in Mayapur, Bengal, and that's very conventional, very technical, very profound kind of rhythms that are coming down from Lord Chaitanya for 500 years. And the Bengalis have so many different, scenarios of beats going on. So thankfully, she grew up in our little community in British Columbia, and they were learning all kinds of musical expertise from the Bengali tradition. When we play Mridanga, it's called, Mridanga means a sweet instrument, right? Mridu means what? Honey. Mridanga is called a honey sounding instrument.
It's the honey drum.
The honey drum. And so when we play it, we want to embellish whatever's going on, the kirtan is going on. The main focus is on the holy name. The name is extremely powerful if we focus on it. There's different kinds of chanting. There's inattentive chanting, there's chanting negligently, there's chanting jokingly. But all this chanting benefits people. Even if people walk by and go, Hare Krishna, ha ha ha, they benefit. They benefit. Prabhupada, the first chariot festival we had in Chicago, Prabhupada was there. Rath Yatra, you all know Rath Yatra? Okay. I don't know how how long you've been. Rath Yatra, when we pull the chariots through the streets of the world.
When the deities leave the temple.
Lord Jagannath comes out once a year. Jagannath, he's Jagannath, the Lord of the universe, literally. They worship him in a place called Puri, and that deity is thousands of years old. So once a year he comes out to benedict everyone, bless everyone with his darshan. So we do that. I think our first Rath Yatra was San Francisco, 1968. When we pull the cart through the streets, everyone gets darshan. Darshan means to see the Lord of the universe with his brother Balaram and his sister Subhadra. So when probably we inaugurated our Rath Yatra in Chicago in 1970. And there was 2 newspaper reviews. The first newspaper review was very favorable, but he only mentioned Hare Krishna mantra once. But he was very favorable. Oh, these are peace and love, peace and love days, all this. People, that was very nice, food was great. The other guy gave a very negative review. They're brainwashed, they're cultists, what is this stuff? They don't eat meat, blah, blah, blah. And every single sentence, these Hare Krishnas are like this. These Hare Krishnas are like this. So we brought both newspaper reviews to Prabhupada the next day. It was very successful, Rath Yatra. Vivekananda had spoken in Chicago a few years before that, maybe 30 years before that. Vivekananda is the first kind of Hindu preacher that went to the West. Anyway, so when Prabhupada read the two reviews, he said the negative guy is better because he's continually chanting Hare Krishna.
Because he said Hare Krishna.
He's constantly saying Hare Krishna. They're bad, blah, blah, blah. We should suppress them. They're spoiling our world, you know. And brother, yeah, this is better. He's chanting Hare Krishna all the way through. And there was a murderer his name was Ajamil, and he fell into bad association. And just out of a joke, he said, I'm going to name my son name of Narayan. Narayan is another name of God. And so throughout his whole life, he did all the very evil things, murder, stealing, raping, all that he did. He's actually born in a high caste Brahmin family, but he got corrupted, you know. So at the time of death, he saw these Yamadutas. Yamadutas are like the constables of death. They come and pull your subtle body out of your gross body. So when he got really scared, and he went, Narayan! And he called his son. His 11th son, he named him Narayan as a joke, you know. I don't believe in God, but I'll call him Narayan, you know. Funny, very funny. So he called his son, and suddenly the Vishnu Dutas, or the constables from the spiritual world, came, and they forbade the Yamadutas, constables of, you know, what they call justice, karmic justice. Oh, you guys stop. You can't take his soul anywhere. He said the name of God. So then they had a discussion in front of this Ajamil, who was lying there kind of in a state of limbo, right? Just practically about, you know, dying and so on. And they discussed about the power of the name of God. Namachintamani Krishna Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha means that the name of God and God are non-different. And if you chant it by accident, out of fear, whatever you chant, it purifies you of all your karma. Of course, that's not the goal of life. The goal of life is how to love the Supreme, how to have divine love. We all know what love is. We've never seen it. We've never smelt it, heard it, tasted it. It's beyond the experimental, the empirical approach. Therefore, they say, there's no God, I've never seen him. But we say, well, have you seen love? No one's ever seen it, but they know what it is. So the love comes from the soul, and it's divine. So the purpose of this chanting is how to love Krishna and how to love Radharani. And so the Hare Krishna movement is a movement inaugurated by Krishna. And he comes in the mood of Radha. So we say Hare before we say Krishna. Hare is the internal energy or the pleasure potency of Krishna. The feminine energy of Krishna is Radha or Hare. So she is the giver of this prema. Prema means love. Prema bhakti, love. There's different kinds of bhakti. Some people do bhakti to get some material benefits. Some people do bhakti because they want to be very learned, lots of knowledge. You can study. There's so many Vedic literatures, thousands and thousands of Sanskrit instructions given in all the Vedas, Puranas, hundreds of thousands of things. But Prema Bhakti is what the gopis had, what the inhabitants of Vrindavan had. They didn't care that Krishna was the supreme, all-powerful, all-knowing, blah, blah, blah. They just want to love him. So the essence of bhakti is this holy name. Krita yad dhyayato Vishnu. In ancient times, the yogis would meditate in ice for 10,000 years, human years. That's ages past. That's described in our books, our literature. Kalarya Dari Kirtanat. In this age of Kali, the age of hypocrisy, degradation, people don't know who they are. Who am I? I don't know. I'm a human, I'm American, I'm Russian, I'm African. No, we're soul. So in this age, it says, Kritiyad Hari Kirtanam. The chanting is the prescribed method of yoga, bhakti yoga, for this age we live in. Because in this age, we are not very spiritually educated, we're not very spiritually evolved. Manda samanda bhataya. So when we chant this name, it's being invested with a lot of power, a lot of Shakti. Shakti means potency. So this name is being especially invested with Shakti in this particular age. It's the age of Kali, right? Kali, the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. And we see it. Historically, they've been fighting for thousands of years. And we're only 5,000 years in Kali Yuga, and people are fighting, people are warring, people are, invading. It just goes on and on. Families are breaking up. It's just an age of conflict. But this holy name, Kirtanadiva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha, this holy name is the jewel given in the age, the diamond given in the age. And so it doesn't matter who you are, what situation you're in. You don't have to shave your head, but just take this holy name, this name, and focus on it. We have to go deep into this holy name. So the instruments, Mridanga, kartals, and so on, they're embellishing, they're supporting, they're helping us get into the holy name. Everyone, we love to chant and dance, right? We love it. As soon as we, it's full of bliss, right? Full of bliss. So the Mridanga is very, very important. The various mantras that we're learning from Ladini Shakti, the different rhythms and so on, they're coming also from the spiritual world, because Lord Chaitanya introduced this Mridanga, and Lord Nityananda. So all these different tolls and so on, what do you call them? Tal beats. Thank you, beats. They're from a transcendental place, and they enhance the chanting of the holy name. Lord Chaitanya would chant with 7 different groups, and he would just be in ecstasy, and 7 different groups were chanting with him, with, Mridangas and the kartals, and they would chant and dance in ecstasy and go all over West Bengal and Pur, these places. So this Mridanga is very important, and it's good that we learn it with the proper beats and tals.
They're already doing so great.
Everyone's happy to learning the beat.
Good group 2026. Thank you so much, Pita.
Okay.
Is there any chance we could just hear 1 minute of you playing?
Oh yeah,
Me?
play your beat.
Yes, please. Can we just play your beats?
Okay, I love my father's playing, but do
It's
not copy.
it's very unorthodox.
We will control alt delete after this.
Okay, when Prabhupada came, this is the first beat. We call it the Prabhupada beat. Because, I was 20 years old, pretty passionate guy, so I couldn't focus on learning these. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Whoa! Thank you, Pita. Jai. Hey, he did the talk. That was good. Yeah.
I didn't know.
I call it talk.
Tuck,
Okay.
tuck,
You
okay.
give it to Lainey there. Take it. Thank you.
Sure. Thank you very much for coming all the way here to India and absorbing the wonderful energy and spiritual atmosphere. Thank you so much for coming. Very grateful. Srila Prabhupada would sit there and ask us to just give this Maha Mantra to people. So we'd run out after we sat with Prabhupada for his class. We'd run out in the streets and, hey, Hare Krishna! Prabhupada was very powerful. His chanting was very powerful. Very potent person to be in the presence of. Very, very great personality to be in presence of such a person. Everyone that met him were impacted by him. From small to big, you know.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Pray to Lord Chaitanya and the Panchatattva to inspire you from within, you know, to share this with people of the world. People may look happy, but without a spiritual practice, they cannot be happy. Not possible, you know. No peace. When I'm on the streets of America or Canada, I give a book to someone, they're walking down the street, like I usually Seattle. I say, well, we live in such a wealthy country, we've got everything, but no one's happy. They all agree. I mean, mainstream people, they all, yeah, it's kind of funny. People aren't that happy. They actually admit it. So I tell them that you have to balance your material assets with some spirituality. You need a balance. You know, that's my message. So.
Thank you.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bo.